Hey guys, welcome to Millennial Money Honey. I wanted to take the time to walk you through my Millennial Money Honey tracker for 2023. With all the new updates and improvements, this is something I use to track all of my money, and I have been building this for years since I started my journey to financial independence / retire early. I've been on this journey to early retirement since 2019 when I first started the iteration of the spreadsheet, and it's 2023 and it has vastly improved since then. So I wanted to take the time to walk you through this. If you're watching this and you've never seen the spreadsheet, watch my monthly money videos, or learning about the tool that I use to track all of my finances, welcome. And if you already bought the spreadsheet and you're watching this as a tutorial / walkthrough, thank you so much for your purchase. It means so much to me, and the prospect of more people retiring early really makes me so excited. So with that, let's talk more money, honey, and we'll get started with this walkthrough. So if you bought the spreadsheet, this is where you'll land. I'll send you an email / link to actually make a copy of your tracker. So I'm going to just go ahead and make a copy. Okay, so you can see here, it drops you on this very first page, and it says to follow the guided instructions, the pencil and little light bulb emoji to learn how to use the spreadsheet. I get not everybody loves to read, but it's really important that you actually go through them. But I'll try and cover what I can in this video. So as you can see, anything with the coral, like this light pinky orangey color text, that's almost all the things that you'll want to edit. Anything else is like red flag, maybe don't touch that, because you don't want the spreadsheet to break, and deleting things could cause things to mess up. Obviously, I will try and help you troubleshoot anything, and if you need help figuring something out, I got you. Don't worry, just shoot me an email. But the categories you can set up for expenses, income, and savings to be whatever categories that you actually want. These are the categories that I personally use. So just to give you a better idea of where to start, I would not recommend going over or trying to create more categories. A, it kind of messes things up, and B, it's really important that you make things high level instead of getting super granular. Try and have broader categories, because that's less things to keep track of. We're all about money minimalism here. It's better to keep things, again, general rather than having 100 different categories, because at that point it's doesn't help you. I'm going to change for income just so you can see. I'm going to change business to MMH, which stands for Millennial Money Honey, my business. So you can see how this affects some other places. But automatically updating the categories here will update it for your inputs tab and where it shows up everywhere else. Savings will keep as is. Savings goals, for this one, I want to highlight here the 3-month emergency fund. I have this note here, only change the number of months you want to save for, because this is a dynamic formula that actually pulls from your monthly expenses that you're actually spending on. So if your spend is around $4,000 a month and you want a 3-month emergency fund, then it'll suggest that your target goal is $12,000, as you can see here. But the amount you've saved, you're going to be able to change that since you know sort of your savings categories. I use Wealthfront because you can bucket things in your savings account to see where you are for each of your goals. House, wedding, honeymoon, these are just example things you're saving for. I personally am saving for taxes right now, not any of these things. So that is the overview page. Moving on to the input page. So this is the page. Right now I have it all as dummy data, so everything is filled out and you can see everything, but you're just going to want to delete all of this. But something that I did want to highlight is that because we changed the business category to MMH, it's highlighting business as incorrect. So it's highlighting everything, so you can easily see when something is miscategorized or you've spelled something wrong, it'll flag it. So you can see business, MMH. At the end of the day, when you first are getting started using this, you're just going to want to delete all the categories so you can start inputting your own expenses and savings. I'm going to keep those there for now, just so I can talk about the rest of the tabs. In the monthly money view, you are able to see everything, all of your expenses, income, and savings by category. And you can go to this drop down here and sort by the month, February, March, April. Obviously right now, if you were to input your own expenses, you'd only have January and February, and the other months would be blank because you would populate it throughout the year. And then a feature I really, really love is this category sort feature. So you can sort by the date, A to Z, the description A to Z, or the amount. And I'm shockingly like using this a lot, especially for my monthly money videos when I'm trying to figure out what I spend the most on, or if I'm looking for a category of where I have an expense. But all of this monthly view data is being pulled from your inputs tab. So if you try and delete something, you'll get heads up like, don't change the sheet, because you don't want to change the inputs or the text here. You only want to change it on the inputs tab. So just FYI. And then we have this nice little monthly overview that has all of your expense, income, and savings totals by category, as well as the overall totals and your savings rate, as well as a couple of graphs on that. So that is the monthly view. And moving into the net worth, really this should be a fire net worth tab, because it's all of your assets that you can draw down on for fire. It shouldn't be counted towards real estate or anything. When you're an early retiree or wanting to become work optional, your real estate investments aren't as liquid. Obviously, any cash flow or things like that will count towards your assets, but the actual real estate value itself shouldn't count towards your fire net worth. So two separate things. Right now, my net worth and fire net worth are kind of the same because I don't own any real estate. So I realize I need to change that for people. But just so you know, this is your fire net worth. So we have our assets in cash, savings, tax advantage investments, and taxable investments minus your liabilities, so credit cards and loans, to get your net worth for every single month. And this is all dummy data, so you'll just go in and like delete all of these and have your own names for your own accounts, however you want, whatever you want to call them. And it will automatically calculate everything. And I put this at the top, but just please hide the rows that you're not using. Don't delete them so that the formulas don't mess up. And I'm going to just put all of those data back again so I can walk you through the spreadsheet. So moving into the fire tab, we have your progress to FI. And again, the elements that you want to change are the coral text. So you'll put in your own fire goal and what that is. I should do a note that says your fire goal should be times 25 or times 33 your annual expenses for the year to get your fire number. So that should be your goal. We have our savings rate. Right now, you can only put your goal and it automatically pull the rest of the data based on your inputs. Your 100K milestones. So this is like when you reach that next level of 100K and it'll automatically calculate the months between. So you'll only put the date that you actually hit it. So that's like sample 100K milestones. Your lifetime savings rate. So you'll start with the year you started working and then it'll auto-generate the rest of the years below. And then you're going to log into the ssa.gov. I have a little note here on how to do that to find your lifetime savings rate and how much you earned every year for all of your working years. There are some, I've been told, types of jobs that don't report their earnings to the Social Security Administration, in which case you would just sort of need to know how much you filed on your taxes every single year. But hopefully maybe you have that data. If not, you could start for the year that you are starting to fill out this money tracker. And then this graph I just added, I really like it. It's the time to work optional based on the Mr. Money Mustache blog post that truly changed my life, called The Shockingly Simple Math Behind Early Retirement. And it just basically highlights where you are and how long it will take to work based on your current savings rate. So for this dummy data, we have the year-to-date savings rate at 61%. So you're in the like 60% range. So it's like 12.5-ish years to becoming work optional. And then finally, we have our monthly expenses, income, and savings broken out by month instead of category. And then the rolling average, again, as it explains here, it takes the average sum of all of the previous months to get your true average. So it kind of changes with every month, but December should be essentially like by the end of the year, that's like your true average. Yeah, so that is my Fire tab. The Graphs tab, as is pretty self-explanatory, just has all of the graphs, net worth, your spending report, monthly expenses, and income. And I like to screenshot and share these on social media. Be sure to tag Millennial Money Honey if you too want to share your own graphs. And I would love to reshare and see how you're actually using this money tracker if you end up using it. And then Net Zero Shopping tab, I also recently added this because this is something I'm really passionate about, not just thrifting and spending more intentionally, but also trying to negate my shopping by reselling an equivalent dollar amount. Right now, you can see this is all dummy data and you can just uncheck all of these and delete. But you could do, you just input the items that you buy and the price you bought it for. If you sell it, you can put the sell price and then cross it out. And then over here, you can see the net zero shopping, how much you spent, how much you resold. If you end up having a resale category, you could pull that data, and I've left the formula on how to do that in this little note section here. But otherwise, you have to do it manually by putting it on this like page and putting in the sell price when you do it. So it pulls that data that way, or otherwise on my sheet, just pull it from the overview tab on the resale, like the total resale amount. And the total will highlight either green if you're in the negative, or $0, or if you're in the red and you have spent more than you've resold, then it'll turn red, which I thought that was a clever little thing to do. And then I also have a little gift cards sales area, so I remember the gift cards that I have and what I need to spend on, because otherwise I just never spend on gift cards. Anyway, that is a tour of the Millennial Money Honey Tracker. I hope it intrigues you. It's helped me so much. I like to set a weekly date to do my inputs for the week, usually on Sundays. And then at the end of the month is when I do the recurring calendar invite to check in on my net worth. So I can see all my transactions on a weekly basis, and then I do my net worth once a month. So that's how I use this. And again, if you have any feedback, suggestions, room for improvement, my ears are always open, my DMs are open, my email is open. You know where to find me on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Millennial Money Honey. I hope that was helpful. I'm really excited to launch this product, and if you decide to buy it too, let me know. I would love to see how you end up using the spreadsheet. I will leave it linked in the comments/show notes if you're watching this through Spotify app, and it is just really changed my life, and I hope that it changes yours too, at least a little bit. And let's all retire early together.